Hi there, geometry students. This is Miss Hefty here. We are still talking about lines, parallel lines, and today we're going to focus on the slope of lines. So in our equations, y equals mx plus b, what letter is used to represent slope? And this is the equation for a line, y equals mx plus b. What letter is used to represent slope? That would be m. There's two ways to calculate slope. The first way is to do rise over run, and the second way is to take y minus y over x minus x. So start at one of your points, and you're going to rise. Count, and then you're moving towards that second point. Count how many you're going to go up. You're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, so your rise is 4, because you're going up. Had you been going down, it would be negative. Now I'm going to move towards this point. I'm going positive 2. So that would be a 2. Had I gone to the left, it would be negative. So my slope m is 4 over 2. Now make sure that you're reducing that if you can. The slope then is 2 over 1 or 2. Now if you get an improper fraction, keep it that way. So if you get an answer of m equals 7/3, leave it like that. Don't change it to m equals 2 1/3. That's incorrect. We keep slope in improper fraction form. Our second way, if we don't have a graph, then we have to use our ordered pairs to find our slope. And so for me, I like to stack my ordered pairs up. So I have 2, 5 as my first ordered pair, and then I have 0, 1. And that helps me so that I don't make errors when I'm grabbing my points. Now, remember y goes on the top, so y's go on the top. Don't take the first ones, those are the x's, put those on the top. So my slope is m, is 5 minus 1 on the top. Then take your x's and subtract those, 2 minus 0. So now my slope is 5 minus 1 is 4, 2 minus 0 is 2. So you guys see this is my work here. When you're doing your homework, this is what you're going to show. Your slope then is reduce 2. So do you guys see here? I should get the same answers, but there's two ways to find the slope. Either use rise over run or use y minus y over x minus x. All right, let's take a look at the following. You got to find the slope for this line. So if I want to do rise over run, my slope, I'm going to pick 2 points, looks like they got them right here. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to move to the left or to the right, so I'm not moving any. So I have a 0 on the bottom. 0 on the bottom. If you take your calculator, 3 divided by 0, it won't give you, it says invalid or something like that. It's not possible to divide by 0. The slope is called undefined. So when you have a vertical line, the slope is undefined. Now, if you don't have a graph and you've got to go y minus y over x minus x, if you get the 0 on the bottom, it's undefined. Let's look at number 2. All right, I'm going to grab this point here and that point there, and that would be 0, 5, and 1. 5, and I'm going to take my y's and subtract them and put them on the top. So my slope is 5 minus 5. Take my x's and subtract them, 0 minus 1. 1. So my slope is 0 over negative 1. When you get a 0 on the top, that is a 0 slope or a no slope. And it's a horizontal line, see there? If I wanted to do my rise over run, you guys see here, I'm starting here, I'm not rising any, so my slope would be 0. and then I'm going to the right 1. So I'm getting a 0 on the top again. So then that slope would be no slope. I missed that here too, undefined. All right, let's look at number 3. I'd like to write them underneath each other. That helps me. Make sure this one I have to do y minus y over x minus x. So my slope is, I can go this way, people. I can go 6 minus 2. And then I have to go the same way. Negative 9 minus, that is negative 1 there. So do you see now? M equals 6 minus 2 is 4. Negative 9, that's a plus 1, is negative 8. Now I need to reduce. My M equals negative half. And you keep them in a fraction form. Do not write them as decimals. Okay, let's move on. So parallel lines and their slopes. You guys don't have a graph in your notes, but I put a graph on here to help us look at parallel lines and slopes. First off, what kind of slope does this line have? Okay, good. So you're writing no slope. You're saying, hey, Miss Hefty, that's no slope. What kind of slope does this one have? That one also has no slope. When you have parallel lines, their slopes are the same or equal. Perpendicular slopes. I have a picture again here. If I look at here, I'm going up 2 and then I'm going up 1 over 1. So this slope is 2 over 1. When I look at this one here, looking from here, I'm going down 1. So that would be negative 1, and then I'm going to the right 2. All right, so that's perpendicular. Tell me about these two slopes, people. You learned this in algebra last year. This all should be reviewed. All right, so if you multiply the perpendicular slopes together, you are going to get a negative 1. You multiply perpendicular slopes together, they equal negative 1. Do you see that, people? I have negative half times 2 over 1 equals negative 1. Now, if I'm giving you a slope, let's say I say A's slope is 2/3, and I want B to be perpendicular to A. So then B's slope, the rule is flip and change the sign. 3 over 2 negative. And if I want to check, I can multiply those together to see that I'm going to get a negative 1. So if you're looking for the perpendicular slope, you flip it, flipped, and then sign change. Or somebody might say the negative, something like that. All right, let's look at what we ask next. Determine whether line MN and line RS are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. In order to determine if they're parallel or perpendicular, I'm going to need to find their slopes. So I need to find the slope of MN, and I need to find the slope of RS. Again, I find it helpful to stack them up. Just makes it easier for me. All right, so now I'm looking for the slope of MN. And I need to be communicating this, people, so I'm not just scribbling a bunch of numbers down. I'm writing the slope of MN, and now I need to go and take my y's and subtract them. You can go 3 minus 4. I like a positive, so I'm going to go 4 minus 3. Because I've gone this way, I also need to go that way with my x's. So I've got 4 minus a negative 1. So again, communicating, slope of MN, writing down all the information, 4 minus 3 is 1. This is really 4 plus 1, which is 5. So I've got my slope of mn equals 1/5. Don't just write m here, people. When you guys do these on the quiz, lots of students will just write m. That's not communicating which line slope you're looking at, so you need to make sure you do that. Now I'm looking for RS's slope. R is 3, 1, and S is negative 2, 2. All right, so now my slope of RS equals, I'm going to go 2 minus 1, and then I'm going to go negative 2 minus 3. Communicating again, not writing m, but writing slope of RS equals, that's 1, and then 2 minus 3 is negative 5. Here are my two slopes, guys. They're not the same, so it's not parallel. It's not flip and change the sign here, so it would be neither. All right, let's take a look at our next example. Graph the line that satisfies each condition. Now you guys are going to need to show the mathematics behind this. You can't just draw the lines and eye it up. So you need to find a line that passes through H at 8, 5. So the first thing you need to do is graph H. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's my H. We don't really need all those dots there, guys. Okay. All right, now I need to be perpendicular to AG, so I need to find the slope of AG. So I need to take my y's and subtract them. 6 minus negative 2. And then I need to take my x's and subtract them. Negative 5 minus negative 1. So my slope of AG equals 8 over negative 4. So my slope, again I'm communicating that, I'm not just writing m, AG is negative 2. I'm really looking for the perpendicular slope. So I need to say the slope perpendicular to AG. AG is negative 2, so now I need to flip it. Okay, so it's negative 2 over 1, so I'm going to write 1 over 2, and I need to change the sign. It was negative 2, so I need a positive half. So now I'm going to go off of H, I need to draw the perpendicular line. So I go down 1, and then I go over 2, and I'm sneaking off my graph. And then I'm going to connect those. This is a line, so I need arrows. You could graph AG just to see if you're going to be perpendicular. My graph doesn't really have negative 5 on it, so it's kind of tough to graph. All right, let's look at the next problem. I need my line to pass through C at negative 2, 5. So, again, I need to graph this. I'm off. Go out extra 1, sorry guys, and go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's your C. This time you need parallel to LB. So you need to find the slope of LB. So take your y's and subtract them. 1 minus 4. And then take your x's and subtract them. 2 minus 7. All right, so now your slope, communicating again, not m, but slope of LB, that's negative 3, and 2 minus 7 is negative 5. Now when you have a negative on the top and a negative on the bottom, then that becomes positive, people. So my slope of LB is 3/5. So now I'm going to come off of C and I'm going to go up 3. And again, I apologize, I just slapped the graph on without realizing it wasn't going to be able to graph it. So grin and bear it here, up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and connect them. And make sure you have your arrows. All right, you guys have a great night, and I will see you in class tomorrow.